So have you ever seen one of those opportunities that kind of sounds almost too good to be true? Promises of financial freedom, community power, super low transaction fees. Today we're doing a deep dive into something called Texit Coin. It bills itself as this decentralized mineable crypto just for Texans. But the real question we're digging into for you is, well, is it legit? Or is there something else going on here we need to unpack?
Yeah, those themes, independence, community, they can be incredibly appealing. They draw people in fast. Our mission today, using the sources you've shared, is really to cut through that marketing noise. We need to get into the details, figure out what Texit Coin actually is, and maybe pull out some broader lessons for spotting these kinds of things.
Okay, so let's get into it. The first really big red flag that pops up in the materials is the founder's track record. It's kind of undeniable. Texit Coin's spearheaded by a guy named Bobby Gray, and his history. It includes launching currency projects that ran into, well, serious trouble. We're talking failures, legal issues, like Liberty Dollar. Remember that? The founder was actually convicted of counterfeiting.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was Mulligan Mint, another venture linked to Gray. It just collapsed. Filed for bankruptcy after, what was it, $1.4 million in silver. Just vanished.
Yeah, vanished. It really makes you wonder about a pattern, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
And look, this isn't just about one person. It really highlights something critical for any venture you're looking at. You have to scrutinize the founder's past. It's just as vital as analyzing the project idea itself. It tells you about their patterns, their behavior. It can be a pretty powerful predictor.
Okay.
And that history. It leads us right to the next major concern we found. There's a real lack of actual products or services here. Texit Coin isn't selling some useful crypto application or, a tangible service. They're basically just marketing the membership.
The membership is the product.
Yeah.
So how are people supposed to make money then? What does that actually mean for you if you were thinking about joining?
It means the only path to earning anything is by recruiting other people. That's it. When the only thing being sold is the membership itself, you're not really buying a service. You're essentially buying an obligation to recruit. And that's a fundamental difference, isn't it, between a legit business and what the evidence here is strongly suggesting looks like a pyramid scheme.
Right. And this next bit, this really shines a light on how it works mechanically. The compensation structure they describe. It's a binary MLM system. For anyone listening who might not know, binary means your recruits get placed into two legs under you. And your earnings often depend on balancing the growth in both legs.
That's right. You supposedly put in stable coins like USDT or USDC, and then the returns are promised in these TX coins. But here's the kicker, the real catch the materials point out. If you don't recruit anyone, your commission is zero, flat out zero.
Wow.
It's entirely 100% dependent on bringing new people into the system.
So connecting that to the bigger picture, that structure throws up some serious legal red flags, right?
Huge ones. Investing in something like Texit Coin, structured this way, is very likely considered selling an unregistered security in the U.S. And that means it falls under strict SEC rules. Selling unregistered securities, that's illegal. It could lead to some really severe charges, things like securities fraud, even wire fraud.
And beyond just the immediate legal danger, the materials also flag another risk baked into this kind of setup, the Ponzi scheme risk.
Exactly. The whole system seems to run on money from new investors being used to pay the earlier ones. And the problem with any system that relies so heavily on constant recruitment is, well, what happens when that recruitment inevitably slows down?
The payouts dry up.
Precisely. The payouts stop, which means the vast majority of people involved are almost certainly going to lose their money.
Okay, so what about the actual coin then, the TX coin itself? They market it like it's the next big thing, comparing it to Bitcoin or Litecoin.
Right. They use those comparisons to imply huge potential returns. But the details we have show something different. TX Coin appears to be just a Litecoin fork, which basically means it's a copy of Litecoin's underlying code. Crucially, though, it doesn't seem to have any inherent value driven by the market or real use. It's perceived value. It looks entirely dependent on that constant flow of new investment money.
Not on actual market demand.
Not at all. So those promises of massive returns, they seem incredibly misleading based on what we're seeing.
So boiling this all down for you, what does it mean? What we found suggests Texit Coin isn't a real investment platform. The evidence really paints a picture of a classic pyramid scheme, maybe with Ponzi elements too. There's no real product, just recruitment. New money pays old. It's linked to a founder with this pattern of failed and legally questionable ventures. And for most people getting involved, the risk of losing significant money looks incredibly high.
And this whole situation, it really raises a vital question for all of us trying to navigate the crypto world, which is, changing so fast. How do you tell the difference? How do you spot the genuinely innovative projects, the ones creating real value, from the ones that seem designed mainly to enrich the people who created them, especially when the promises sound so good, so community driven?
Something to think about.
Definitely. It just encourages that critical thinking. Always question those promises of easy money, no matter how tempting they sound.